All right, so we got some Blizzard drama. Apparently, people are quitting, which is, I mean, probably planned by Blizzard, but whatever. Let's read about it. I know Preach already made a video about it. I didn't watch all of it. I watched like a minute. I was tagged on Twitter about this. Where is it? Boom, boom, boom. Oh, there's more stuff. Here we go. Notifications. Yes, I was tagged on Twitter about it, and I want to give my 2 cents about this. Now, as Bridge said, this is probably about people going back to the office. Now, the thing is, which is kind of funny. I'll fix this later. Thing is, which is kind of funny about this, is that I actually believe that people should go back to the office. However, that being said, if you have the option to not go back to the office and still get your job done, you will take that option, right? As the employee, right? I mean, it's more convenient, costs you less money, all that stuff. You probably made preparations during COVID and all that stuff. Now, I agree that there's some things that you can get done when people are in person. It takes longer to do a Zoom call than to go like to a drawing board and just like figure it out on the spot. Okay, but if people are more comfortable working from home and they're more productive, I mean, if they are more productive, that is the biggest. This is why I believe people should go to the office still, not all the time obviously, but like to some extent, because if they are more productive in the office, which usually is the case. I'm not saying like a manager should sit on top of your head and tell you what the fuck to do. Okay, I'm saying like usually a lot of people are not self-responsible, right? They need to see other people working. It's like there's a reason people go to the library to study and they don't study at home, right? It's like there is a psychological thing. It's like there's a reason people go to the gym and don't work out at home, even though they can do the same workout at home as they do at the gym, right? Obviously not everyone, but I'm generalizing here. But there is a reason, right? Because it's like your home is where you rest and you don't do work and you just relax. Everywhere else is where you do the work, right? But again, if you can combine the two, if you're that kind of person, then by all means. My brother is that kind of person. He can work from home, no problem. I probably cannot work from home. It's like I'll be distracted all the time. I'll look for any other thing to do to avoid work, right? So I understand the people who, uh, who who are either, right? It's like I get it. Anyways, let's see what he wrote. Being loud about because I've lost yet another person this week. Blizzard is losing amazing talent because someone in power doesn't listen to the game directors who make his products. DE&I also means diversity of thought, especially when it's backed by data and finances. So the diversity of thought here is basically the employees are saying, listen, it is better if we don't go back. Not just the employees, the game directors say it's better if we don't go back to the office on a regular basis because here's the data and here's the finances. This is better for the company, right? But the people in charge say, no, we want you in the office. Okay. And like, look, I don't want to fight. I just want to make video games. I want to make amazing bestsellers and that are critically acclaimed. I want to make better Dragonflights. And honestly, bro, we need a better Dragonflight because this one's not that good. I want to make better experiences. Can't do that if we get rid of everyone who made it. Again, like I don't agree with this because it's like, yeah, you can say that okay, you guys made Dragonflight, but you made on the back of like, well, not to say on the back, it's more like the reason Dragonflight is good is not because you guys work from home. In my opinion, the reason Dragonflight is good is because Shadowlands sucked so bad that there were certain lessons learned finally. And also you had to make it that good because so many people left. And in my opinion, it's still not hitting the mark. It's better, but it's kind of like you're getting closer to like the average expansion, what you need to expect from a WoW game, rather than something to wow you about. It's like the game is called WoW for a reason. It should wow you. Okay? But there's nothing in Dragonflight that wows you. Okay? and not in the cinematic, not in the gameplay. They're like in the Mythic Plus is still garbage. The rating is average at best. Like there's nothing really in the expansion that is like earth shattering. It's literally just an average expansion at best. And in my opinion, slightly below because it has the least amount of content out of most expansions so far. I talked about some different video. If you want to comment about it, I'm totally fine with it. I will talk about it. And maybe I'll make a video about the comments as well. Anyways, so and if we get rid of everyone who made it, okay, whatever. Last thoughts. Some talent is undermining the point. We are creating crisis maps of what we can or cannot ship. That is the loss of capacity we are facing. I literally have a schedule. I strike out as people hand in notice. So this one I actually misunderstood at first. You're creating crisis maps of what we can or cannot ship. So basically what he's saying is, like they're making like basically a list of like what they will have time to make and what they won't have time to make. I thought about like completely differently, but now that I reread it, I can kind of understand it better. So basically, yeah, that's back to regular World of Warcraft design, I guess. I want to extend the opportunity cost to me because at this point I just can't make the math work in any sensible way. It's not about the math. Like, here's the thing, right? At one point, I also believe that Blizzard hired so many people in order for them to quit. They hired like 900 talent just for World of Warcraft. They want those people to leave. They want them to quit. They don't want to fire them to pay like reparations or whatever, right? They want those people to quit. So they got to make their life a bit less comfortable. That's one thing. Now, here's the thing. As an employee, I 100% agree that you should take anything that goes your way and fight for it, right? If there's an opportunity to work at home and there is competition that offers it, take that competition, right? I mean, that's the only, like you got to think about yourself. So it's like, I'm not even like, it sucks for the company, but the company is causing this. But the thing is, I strongly believe, because Blizzard is gonna fire a bunch of people. Let's be real. Like every year, Blizzard fires a whole lot of people. They just need to make a lot of people quit instead, so they don't have to pay them something after. Like the 800 people that were fired during COVID or some shit like that, after like the best year or whatever during Shadowlands of the best year. For Blizzard or some shit, and then or for Activision Blizzard, and then they fired like 800 people. Yeah, a lot of those people, or if not all of them, they had to pay them something for firing them. But if they quit, they don't have to pay them shit. So in my opinion, that's probably what it is. I get like that he's upset, but honestly, this is nothing new. This is not something that like I don't think anyone is surprised by this. There's really nothing, like, in a sense, there's nothing new here that we didn't even know, right? Blizzard will do what Blizzard does, and honestly, let's be real, in my opinion, if I was their CEO, I would my goal is money, right? Like, not I'm like, let's say, a sociopath. I don't care about humans, whatever. I just care about profits and money. Yeah, I would probably do the same thing. Because first of all, people traveling to the work doesn't cost Blizzard money. It costs the people money. So that's number one. Second of all, they're underpaying basically they're underpaying the industry standard, right? Like literally their neighbors are paying more. Literally, like the building next to theirs is paying more money for the same exact job, except that it's not a Blizzard game, right? Like it's so absurd to me to even hear that. It's just crazy, right? So in terms of like financial move, this is probably for the best for Blizzard. And here's the thing, Dragonflight is so good, yet it barely brought even 50% of the players who quit during Shadowlands. And in my opinion, it never will. First of all, you are entering 10.1 already, and people are not only are skeptical, people already quit during, right? They might come back for 10.1 for a bit, and then you're gonna have another like, it wouldn't be like a mass exodus as Shadowlands, because in my opinion this is not as bad as Shadowlands, or more like the people who quit during Shadowlands are probably not didn't come back, so that you don't have a lot of people left to leave, right? The ones who staged through Shadowlands probably gonna stay through anything Dragonflight has to offer. So in that regards, like, who is like gonna leave at this point, right? Unless they made another Shadowlands, you know. So in that regards, like, you're not gonna have probably a mass exodus at this point, but you're gonna have a lot of people not coming back. So it's like, and we all know that the 0.1, 0.15 patches are usually the most empty of patches. There's like usually about the least amount of people, like the mid patches, because the beginning has the most, and then the ending has the most, and then the middle is kind of like a sinkhole. Okay, so we all know that they're probably seeing the numbers of like, yeah, you guys are saying that this is good for our profits and stuff like that, but Dragonflight hasn't sold that well. Like, if anything, the finances probably don't really prove that people working from home is a better thing, unless they, I don't know, make a museum out of their offices and can somehow make some money out of their actual offices right now, so people can, like, you know, go there and, like, you know, make it a tourist spot for gamers or some shit like that. But that is the only way, because right now they're paying rent for that fucking building or whatever, and no one is there. So do you expect them to sell the offices? They also can't do that, because what if they need them someday for another project? Right? You don't know what's gonna happen, so they need the offices, which costs them money. So technically, financially, it's actually not beneficial for them to have these offices empty and not have the people working there. And then they also have the doubt of people actually doing such a good job at home, because you do not know how much these people are actually working, who amongst these people is lazing around and relying on the rest of the team, etc., etc. Right? It's like, oh yeah, I'm stuck on this code. Yeah. You know, it's like, I understand that doubt in people. I have that doubt in people. I have fucking massive trust issues, right? So in that regard, like, I don't think Blizzard is really in the wrong here. I understand if select people, you know, certain like, you've been here for a certain amount of time, you have a certain position and whatever, maybe those people can completely work from home, but I don't think everyone, all the devs, should be working from home. And that sucks, but I'm sorry, like, you gotta earn the convenience of work, right? You gotta earn, even though, again, it might not make sense for you. It's like, well, I'm gonna work better. Yeah, you might work better without supervision at home, and like, you're gonna like fucking pump out like the, oh my god, you're gonna code so much. But Bob and Jerry, on the other hand, might be super lazy. So we'd rather have you do a bit less work when you come to the office and have those two do more work. You know what I mean? Like, does that make sense, right? I'm sure they did the math. There is a reason. It's not just to be mean, for sure, right? I'm sure there are people who perform more better under supervision. Everyone knows this. Okay, and you know the people who laze around when there's no supervision. Okay, we all worked like, well, not all, but like most of us worked a job when there's like that lazy asshole who's taking advantage. Okay, and I've been one of those at some point as well. But you get my point, right? So in my opinion, this is not even a bad financial move for Blizzard to have the employees come to the office, and it's like 3 days a week. Honestly, I if it's 3 days a week, I would much rather them do like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. You have to be in the office, and then the 4 days you don't have to be in the office, because then you can just like, I mean, have you seen the offices? They can literally just like live there for the 3 days and then go home for 4 days. Then you don't really have to deal with the traffic, and because they're staying there for 3 days, you can also just maybe align their work time to be a bit later, like away from the mad traffic in the morning and away from the mad traffic in the evening. So let's say instead of starting 9 a.m. or 8 a.m., whatever they started, they'll start like 1 p.m., where usually there's less traffic, like, you know, maybe even 2 p.m. There's usually less traffic in that time. Now, again, I don't know the traffic in Irvine, California, but I'm going to assume most people drive to work early morning. Most people leave work at around 4 or 5 p.m., Usually that's where most traffic is. Even if there's still big traffic at like 1 or 2 p.m., then okay, but it's probably not as bad as like 7 to 9 a.m. Usually, right? But like certain compromises like this, instead of like 1 day at the office, 1 day at home, in my opinion, would be better. Like just have 3 days, knock them out. If you want to live in the in the campus for 3 days, fuck it, whatever. Bring a sleeping bag, right? And it's like, dude, honestly, I would take that job. Fuck it. Like, have you seen their offices? Dude, like, you're literally like on like you have the work hours, but like you're in a hotel for the rest of the time, right? You have like I don't know if their food is free or not. I know Google is probably. I'm pretty sure Google food was free for the employees, but like catering and shit like that. But like they have massive playrooms. Like you hang out with the buddies that you work with. Like it's not that bad. Okay, there are people working in a job they hate and are like in the sun, like fucking burning up with like people they don't like, and it's like, yeah, it is what it is. So in that regard, it's like, yeah, stop your bitching in that regard. But I still understand you. Okay, I still understand. You got used to it. I mean, you got spoiled a bit, and it's hard to go back. And honestly, yes, technology is advancing and stuff like that, and people are not advancing as fast as technology. You're just unfortunately right now stuck in the middle where the people who are currently at higher management did not age, like they're too old to even understand internet probably. So they're like, yeah, no, I don't want them to work at home, I want them to be in the office. And until that management changes, I'm sorry, like when they changes, they'll probably change this policy. But until then, you're stuck with old administration. That's why like a lot of the newer game companies, indie devs, or even like, newer in the sense that's like, Riot technically is newer than Blizzard, than Activision. It is a newer company. So they're probably also like, and I believe like the CEO is substantially younger. Well, not Tencent, but like the one who made Riot, um, is probably substantially younger than Bobby Kotick and whoever else is running the show. Okay. I can't guarantee this, but like at least they have a younger mentality, right? But you can't expect this from all of them. And honestly, if you're an employee at Blizzard, just and like you have the opportunity to leave and work at somewhere else that allows it, fuck it, do it. But yeah, I'm like, shit ain't fair. It sucks, and WoW will suffer for it. Blizzard games will suffer for it. But honestly, I don't think Blizzard cares. So why should we? And that's it for the video. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Take care.